Hey, it's JC1424 once again with another album review, and today we're going to be talking about the new self-titled album from metal artist Bullet for My Valentine. Album came out on November 5th, 2021, and I have to say it's not really often that I get to talk about an artist from the other side of the world, but I can tell you this, punk and metal are a strong suit of the UK, not just the US or whatever as far as I'm concerned. I discovered Bullet for My Valentine because they had a song in one of my favorite games of all time, Need for Speed Most Wanted, which I have yet to play on this channel. I need to find the room for it, okay? And then they also might have had a song in like a MX versus ATV game I played, but I never listened to the soundtrack that much. Anyhow, I started really paying attention to them with the album Venom, songs like Raising Hell and No Way Out. I don't think Raising Hell actually made the album. I don't remember. And then their most recent album with the pretty wings on it and everything, I don't think that was very well received because they didn't go full on metal with it. But this is a self-titled. I think it's supposed to encompass what they're all about. Track 1 is Parasite, and it opens up the album with a distorted timeline of hits throughout the years, which I like. And that fades into the thunder of this song. I don't know how exactly to describe the verse and pre-chorus other than a polished style similar to All Out Life by Slipknot in like 2019, which is another song that didn't make the album that it sounded like it was for. But this song comes from a place of good, morbid riddance, no longer underneath someone's thumb. Yes, I guess the abusive kind of relationship. And less common song structure makes the chorus more suspenseful here, and the scream just leading into the solo makes for a sick combo, which I do have to add, it isn't really an impressive solo by my standards.
You make me sick, like a virus, a fucking parasite. You're not a new infection, I carry you for all my life.
The second song on this album, Knives, I dropped the butter knife, it's about physically stabbing away at the pain, trauma, and bad memories. You figure I'd be more into cleans, but they seem to instantly hold the excitement of this one down. While the cadence of this song is really cool, especially with the breakdown just bursting out of it. And the final chorus becomes more refreshing than the two prior. The third song, My Reverie, sings about being lost in the numbness after long-term suffering and just facing it with resent. A decorative intro riff rolls in, then percussion dances through the relaxation to follow. And melodically, this has to be the first instance where it sounds like the emo metal that I grew up with. Eventually, the drums kick it up a notch and begin an awesome ensemble with the guitar. Track 4 is No Happy Ever After. Typically, I don't hear metal guitar tones as good as what we have on this song, unless it's Black Veil Brides. And that's all they're even good at. Not to mention, the drums go hog wild on this song from beginning, middle, to end. And it seems like it's from the perception of COVID-19 as a blunt doomsday scenario, which, I mean, it kind of was, to be honest. I'd say the lyrical content is kind of cliche here, but the carry-out is fucking spot on.
Refusal, another resistance. There'll be no happy ending. A story never told. No happy.
Track 5, Can't Escape the Waves, is totally a somebody save me, I'm drowning in my own stress type of song. But for some reason it strikes me as very similar to track 3, My Reverie, with its musical ambience and what's going on in the background. But this has a hearty and melodic chorus with a post-chorus that just bites the tempo with its lead guitar. I also can't leave out the dirty bass that backs the verses.
I can't escape the waves. I can't escape the waves.
The sixth song on the album, Bastards, is a slow, banging, fist in the air metal anthem. All on the basis of shitty politicians that lie their way into a position where they can use the system against us, which I do believe is like a worldwide scenario, but I don't know what their specific situation is, because they're from the UK. I'm from the US. I mean, most of the people watching probably are, but the verses are low and crawling with distortion, and then halfway through the song, you don't know what to expect, and it just opens the doors to hell, and they're like, go the fuck in. Track 7 is Rainbow Veins, and the lead guitar line in the song is one of the most enticing things I've heard in a long time. Meanwhile, the subject matter of like heroin addiction and the desire for an endless high is chilling. I love the way the drums throttle in the verses and the guitar slides through the chorus until all this anger and frustration comes crashing through to an emotionally exhausted moment for the song. On track 8, Shatter, which is my favorite song on this album, was one of the singles, the intro is elegant and gorgeous. Somehow a song that slaps this hard made it work, too. And then they got the reverb of the drums with the echoey guitar line beneath the verses, making for a solemn feeling. And it certainly has one of the greatest transitions ever from a jam to a speedy, upbeat solo with thunderous drums underneath. And I take this as a song about faith and will, no matter how broken you might be, or how imminent death might be for you. The second to last song on this album is track 9, Paralyzed, and it's about opening someone's eyes to the distress and entrapment they've placed upon somebody else. The riff is rapid and wild as hell. It's just punk metal with the same sick rhythm and the drilling bass drum. We already get attitude from the lead guitar inside everything, but it comes to the forefront in the bridge, which is one of the things I really like about this song. But I have to say, they just have a really neat way of taking fast and simple and turning it into slow and complex. All right, the final song, track 10, is Death by 1,000 Cuts, and it is absolutely the most perfectly dynamic song across the entire album. The drum tempo gets broken down and danced along by the riff. The lyrical content is screamed, distorted, and then melodic, and consistently in the most appropriate places. It's not like they're screaming something that shouldn't be screamed or distorting something that we really need to hear clearly. And then it's melodic where the lines are definitely emotional. And it's all basically to say that someone's emotional suffering is not caused by one individual thing, but it's everything, including negligence. And my final score for the new self-titled album by Bullet for My Valentine, released on November 5th, 2021, is a 92%, which is an extremely high B, as high as a B could go. I think it's mostly because screaming metal isn't my highest preference. I think Bastards is a personal favorite for me, even though it's only like hard metal in comparison to Shinedown or Imagine Dragons. To, the most common Bullet for My Valentine fans, they'd probably say it's rather light. But Knives and My Reverie I don't favor because they don't pull me in until the bridge and the ending of the song. I feel like everything else just isn't as strong or entertaining enough until that point of it. But this might be their best album ever, but that's for their biggest fans to decide. Let me know in the comment section below. See you next time. That's that, and album review over.